Have you ever thought that you'd forgiven someone and then one day your anger came back? Perhaps their name came up, a memory returned, their photo crossed social media. A conversation you had with someone brought a memory back. And suddenly that wound that you thought was healed is there again. If that has happened to you, then you are not strange. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not alone. And it automatically doesn't mean that you failed. Today I want to speak honestly about forgiveness. What it is not, and why it can be so hard to live. I'll be preparing for an episode called Biblical Forgiveness on GraceTalk. And one of the responses that one of my listeners gave all the time, they said, "Craig, I understand what you are saying. I know feeling bitterness is dangerous and it's sinful. I know revenge belongs to God." That's what they said. I know Christians are called to forgive. Ticked all the boxes. They listened to all the videos. But practically speaking, this is hard. And I agree with them. They are right. Forgiveness is not hard. Not because the Bible is unclear. It's because the wounds are real. Betrayal is real. If you've been cheated on, if you've been assaulted, if you've been abused, somebody backstabbed you at work. We experience this every day. And some of just are so extreme, from physical to emotional. That loss is real. The damage that you feel and that you're carrying is real. So we cannot speak about forgiveness cheaply. This can't be a conversation about a self-help series, a feel-good series. Forgiveness does not mean you pretend nothing happened. It does not mean calling that evil deed done to you suddenly now becomes good. It does not mean you saying something like this: "It was not that bad." Really? It does not mean giving unsafe people access to you again, when you are not ready, at least. It does not mean that that person that cheated on you, that trust is automatically restored because you are a believer. No. The Bible never asks us to lie. Because truth matters, justice matters, wisdom matters. Does it make sense? And having boundaries do matter. Forgiveness is not pretending that the wrong never happened to you, my friend. And that is very different. For many people, the hardest part is not understanding forgiveness. It is the hardest part is, what do you do when the pain comes back, like we've mentioned early on? Because the first feeling we do feel is hurt and pain. And pain in of itself is not sin. Grief automatically is not sin. Sometimes the wound has just been touched again, and that's what happens in the real world. The battle is what I do next, and this is critical, my friends. Do I take the pain to Christ, or do I replay that story over and over and talk to my friends and family about it over and over and over? Do I pray, or do I feel resentment? Or do I trust God with justice? Or do I open the courtroom in my mind where I'm the judge and prosecutor? And that is where forgiveness gets tested. Not in theory, in ordinary, where I needed to examine my own heart first. And as the series goes, that forgiveness starts with God. Not with me, not with the perpetrator, or if I was the perpetrator. Starts with God. Romans 12 teaches us, and I speak about it extensively, that we must not take revenge. That we must leave room for God's wrath. And that doesn't mean evil doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that what you've gone through does not matter. God knows the truth. He sees the truth. You and I need to step down from the judge's seat. That's basically the bottom line here. And this has been the deepest lesson for me as I conclude. Sometimes I just don't only want peace. Getting over that person or whatever that event is. I want justice. I want the truth to come out. Everybody must know. I want the wrong to be named. And that desires that I have is not automatically wrong, because truth matters and justice matters. But even that justice needs to stay under Christ, and that's the big lesson that I've learned. Justice remains in God's holy hands. And my friends, Jesus understands your pain. He understands my pain. He was betrayed by Judas. He was abandoned by his own friends. He was rejected by so many. He was falsely accused. He was mocked. He was beaten. He was crucified. He knows what our suffering is like. He stepped into our suffering. He died. He carried our pain so that He can forgive you and I of our sins. He took it upon Himself. Please be reminded that Christ is not far away from you. He's a prayer away. The answer to your hurt, it's not going to go away and be forgiven, but He can lighten your burden for you. Just go to Christ. Because if you're going to redirect the pain, the hurt that's sometimes reactivated, it could lead to sin, and that is not biblical forgiveness. Christ knows our pain. He knows what injustice is. But He's also able to meet us at our point of need. My friends, I hope that the series is an encouragement to you, and I hope that you go to Christ for help. He's the only one that can get us through. I'm sorry that you had to go and you're going through what you are, and I can only pray for you. Let's keep each other in prayer. Please give me feedback on the series. It's originally 8, now it's 9 episodes due to comments from very supportive listeners, and in fact the 9th one pulls it beautifully together and gives us a biblical guideline on how to deal with this exact question. What do I do when the pain comes back? My name is Craig Aynal, and this is GraceTalk. God bless.